So, all eyes are on the lights then as they head down to Gerrard for the first time. It is the Virgin Mobile Yamaha R6 Cup, and they're underway. Who got the whole shot? Looks pretty much like number 3, Connor Cummins. Oh, bumping and barging already. It was Connor Cummins. So the long, tall, lanky Manxman has made it into the lead at Gerrard for the first time.
John Boyle second.
Well, good start from John Boyle too, but Connor Cummins just had the advantages, and certainly middle of Gerrard's corner, you can just get the wick wound up a little bit more before having to pull it back down for the last part of the corner. It's almost 3 corners in one. We are at Wieners for the first time. Yeah, John Boyle has made his way through under Connor Cummins, and that, you've got to say, he's got the right style for it as we come through the Lake Esses.
Probably the smallest rider in the championship, John Boyle, come last year from riding 125s in the British Championship, and this year up to the R6 Cup.
Whoa, get out of order, James Hillier on the end of this Gearlink racing bike. They are sponsored, of course, various sponsors they're allowed on the side of the motorcycle, despite the fact all these machines belong to Virgin Mobile Yamaha for the series. And you saw James Hillier up out of the seat a little bit there as he came down Devil's Elbow. John Boyle now got a big lead as he comes over the line. Well, if you can convert the pole position into a race win, that's, well, all you need is the fastest lap as well, and that's what I refer to as a gentleman's set, right out wide there, not where you want to be, out on the marbly bits. It's number 30, yeah, Gareth Glynn.
Oh, he's round the outside of James.
Well, he would have got good drive, I suppose, and oh, he's underneath him at Edwina's, not quite. Oh, dear me, this is going to be ending in tears just there, I'm sure. Victor Cox comes up to join him on bike 28. So, battling all round. Out of the Lake Esses, up towards Shores now. Big lead for John Boyle. Certainly a big lead by Yamaha R6 Cup stand. Oh, against James Hillier. Well, I reckon he must have a different tyre on everyone else. He's got less grip. or shall we say, less control over his right arm. Down Druids they go then, onto the front straight. James Hillier there, 37 in second place. John Boyle just easing away. He's got a 1.9 second lead as he crossed the line now over this lot. I don't want to be seeing that. 22 laps race distance. We're only on lap 3 again, right out wide. That's a hell of a line that Gareth Glynn has got.
That's a long way round, a bit dirty out there, but he's pulled it down the inside this time, hoping to get round the outside of James Hillier into Edwina's.
Here we go. James Hillier still leads it. Still second, I should say.
Cox down the inside.
And again, it was Gareth Glynn got himself in such a mess there coming into Edwina's, and I don't know where he was heading off to. Maybe he was going fishing. Up the hill towards Shores, already the leader. John Boyle is way out front. 28 coming to join him. Victor Cox then. Second place now for Cox. This is the bus stop.
That's good to see Victor Cox back up there. He did this championship last year and really been struggling a bit this year.
I get, you know, when I walk to the paddock, I get, as ever with the R6 Cup, the marshals always telling me who's going to do well where. And again, today as I walked in, I got the indication that Victor Cox was the man to watch out for.
You could make some money in that and get down Ladbrokes.
They could make some money out of it as well. There is actually a sweep here today. I'll go into that in a minute with the Mallory Park staff. It's quite amusing, really, because Michael Rutter's had a bit of a flutter. And guess who he drew out the hat?
James Hillier down the inside into Edwina's, snaking all the way in there.
But he's blocked him right in the middle of the turn. There's no way Victor Cox is going to make his way through the middle of a motorcycle, that's for sure. Hillier back up to second. As long as these two keep dusting each other up, the man out front, John Boyle, it was 2.3 seconds his lead last time he came across the line. It's just getting bigger and bigger. John Boyle has absolutely cleared off.
You know, on his fastest lap, John Boyle, no surprise, got the fastest lap 56.065, which is over half a second faster than pole position.
But don't you see that every single time these guys go out there? So little track time, they just get quicker and quicker and quicker. Every time they get out on the racetrack, they get to know the bike a little bit better, know the setup a little bit better, know the track a little bit better. Victor Cox again in third place, looking to get up the inside of James Hillier. No chance of him for that. Connor Cummins behind them on bike number 3 and still trying to go around the outside.
He likes that line.
He does like that line, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's working this time, I think. He's round the out.
Well, he's cleaned it up, I should think. He's rubbed his tyres all over it and taken all the dirt off the line. Still James Hillier.
Slotting in there.
Yeah, just about. So 30 slots through. Gareth Glynn eases out Connor Cummins as they come into Edwina's. This is the Lake Esses now. I've got a feeling these four are going to have a big old coming together. We're only on lap 5 of the 22. John Boyle out front by 3.1 seconds now. I don't think I've seen anybody with a lead that big this early on in an R6 Cup race.
I don't think I've seen a lead that big in the season and a half we've had of R6 Cup. That's incredible. It just never happens.
Well, he's gone on the Astro Van Centre SPS Racing Limited. R6 Yamaha, he's gone out front. John Boyley I'm talking about, I'll talk about him even though you can't see him. There he goes, he's almost out of Gerard's corner while these lot are only on their way in. We're on lap 6 of 22. Again, he's got 30, Gareth Glynn on the outside line. That's your race. Oh, style. Nice. Absolute style into Ed Reeners. I like a bit of that.
Looks
John
nice.
Boyley. Oops, that's how not to do it.
We like a bit of that as well.
Yeah, that was Gareth Glynn though. He's got second place, but he looked a bit scruffy coming into Ed Reeners. This actually, we always make the analogy about Pro-Am. Good afternoon, sir. Are you enjoying your lunch? So, we always make an analogy back to the Pro-Am days that Neil Mackenzie cut his teeth on, of course, and I've got the feeling that here at Mallory Park, it's actually beginning to look like a bit of a Pro-Am.
There's 6 abreast there coming into the hairpin. Any line goes.
Down Devil's Elbow. They've now made a big run off there, so it's a lot safer than it's ever been. Down towards Gerrard's now, and again it's 28 that's in second place. Remember, that is Victor Cox from the second row of the grid. Gareth Glynn again goes out. Well, he's looking for a berm. Quite a lot of these guys come from motocross, and of course they're looking for that humped piece of earth on the outside of the corner just to get some drive off.
One guy that's been sneaking up is championship leader Richard Wren. He's in 5th position at the moment. You can see him just sneaking his way up, number 24 in the back of this bunch now.
That's actually a good, stylish ride from him. 24, Richard Wren is the series leader. Doesn't want to lose too many points here. Of course, I've already said it. They drop points at 2 rounds of this year. Their 2 worst scores. And also, they don't... Oh! That was a big trip there. He gets the brakes back on. Gareth Glynn then just, well, snuck up to the back wheel and spat himself offline. We'll take a look at that again in just a minute, I'm sure. But he was very lucky to stay with that motorcycle. I was about to say that they dropped 2 rounds. Yeah. Take a look at this, just as he was about to drop this as around the outside. Well, that was slightly unfortunate, I've got to say. Victor Cox on a determined racing line across the outside of Gareth Glynn and just snuck his front wheel. But all's fair in love, war and R6 Cup racing. I'll get back to the dropping of 2 rounds. They're not scoring at the British Grand Prix this year. There's always an R6 Cup race at the British Grand Prix. They used to score points at that, but this year it's only a demonstration, Neil.
Yeah, it's pretty much one-off, but some serious prizes up for grabs. A brand new R6 Yamaha if you win at Donington, which is incredible, and the prizes go all the way down to 5th or 6th position. Some real top prizes, no cash changing hands, but lots of valuable prizes.
Wouldn't have expected anything else with Rob Mack dealing with it. Out front, 6 seconds now is the lead from John Boyley. I can't believe it. 6 seconds, it's got to be official. He is holding the biggest lead we've ever seen in R6 Cup racing, I think, since its inaugural year last year. So John Boyley didn't just get pole position and the fastest lap so far, he's just absolutely cleared off at the front. There it is. John Boyley's lead from Cox, Hillier, Wren and Sanders, with Bridewell in 6th place as they came. Ollie Bridewell there in 6th place as they came across the line. Oh, dear me. Place, still Victor Cox, but I don't think that will last for long, because up the inside surely James Hillier again in a bit of a mess at Ed Wieners and runs it out wide, and thank you very much, I'll have that place back, says Victor Cox, who's a whole lot tidier going through Ed Wieners. James Hillier.
I don't think we've seen the last of the contact round here.
Well, of course, James Hillier, well, he's only had 1 win. That was the last time out of Knock Hill. James Hillier really needs to try and make as many points as he can over series leader Richard Wren. So James Hillier could do with that place that Victor Cox is on. He's not going to win, I don't think, unless John Boyley has a massive, massive problem somewhere.
He could do is stay in front of number 24, Richard Wren.
He certainly could, but he needs to be in front of him by a considerable bit if he's going to catch up. 126 to 96 points is the difference. Although James Hillier's 96 points is a more realistic 96, because he's got a complete DNF in amongst there. Don't forget, 2-point scores are removed. Keep an eye on what's going on. 7 points.
Sanders on down the inside of Richard Wren into Gerrard's, with Richard Wren round the outside. Well,
I'm glad you're watching the race, because I was just looking at the monitor again. Hillier slightly out of control into Ed Wieners. He's going to either fall off there or he's going to make that stick one day. But John Boyley now 7.5 seconds in front. He's a second a lap quicker than anybody else out on the racetrack, Neil.
Incredible. We've got a man sitting next to me that actually won the Knock Hill round, Benji Cockrell. We haven't seen much of him this year, but he's showing up here at Mallory Park. What do you reckon of the R6 Cup racing this year, Benji?
Well, yeah, it's very close this year. I mean, there's a lot of new names in it, but I thought the old names, James Hillier and
Victor Cox.
Victor Cox, he beat us last year fair and square at Brands Hatch, and I thought he was going to be tipped to win it, but obviously he's not struggling now, but he has been struggling a few races, but now he's got it sorted now. If he can get his head down, he can close the gap on John Boyley, I think, the way he's going.
Here's Richard Wren round the outside looking for Victor Cox. So Richard Wren, it is his first year in this R6 Cup, and he's up the inside. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm always impressed with Richard Wren. He really is a bit of a thinker regarding. He's been to Mallory a few times though. He knows his way around Mallory, I think, in some other formula earlier on last year, but that doesn't. Oh dear me, Victor Cox looking for a way back.
He hasn't given up
no,
yet, Victor Cox. But Richard Wren, he's like Adam Jenkins was at the beginning of the season. Stays out of trouble, gradually chips away.
Guy Sanders on 42 looking for a way
job on his hand
round.
this weekend though.
He has a bit. They're all over the place as they come through the bus stop. There really isn't room for two motorcycles in there. So, down Devil's Elbow, onto the front straight. We're on lap 12 of the 22 now. The leader is anyway. He's 9 seconds in the lead now as these guys trip each other up. I've got to say that all these motorcycles are prepared by Yamaha to exactly the same standard. They come out of the truck and they're given to the riders. There's no amount of cheating, tampering, setup that can be changed without Yamaha knowing about it. So I can't even lay it down as to cheating.
Well,
but if a man in this kind of formula had a 9-second lead normally, I would say he was a cheat.
Well,
but I reckon John Boy Lee is just damn good round
well,
here.
you know as well as an ex-man, it's all about power to weight ratio as well, and John Boy Lee wears about 5 stone, and that's certainly been making a difference.
Richard Wren then still in third place. Second place, I should say. Richard Wren it is, up to second place now at the bus stop. So Richard Wren, well, I don't think he's going to see which way John Boy Lee went, and I don't think he's going to care that much, because John Boy Lee is not the man that's going to be doing anything much in the actual overall competition. I'm looking down here to see where he is. He's got 62 points. He's in what, 6th place in the series at the moment. So Richard Wren will be quite happy to take second place and 20 points today, surely.
I think you're right, and the way Guy Sanders and Victor Cox are carrying on at the back here.
Oh, and there goes Gareth Glynn on that wide slippy line again on the outside. Reminds me a little bit of the man that sat alongside you today, Mr.
I don't think there's enough time for Richard Wren to gain on John Boy Lee, because it's good, because I know Richard Wren's got a new sponsor from my sponsor, GT Motorcycles, so Mike Rains will be in the crowd cheering Richard Wren on. I don't think he's going to pull John Boy Lee, but he's going to give it a go.
Somebody's got to give there.
It was a bit of a Benji Cockle kind of manoeuvre on the inside, and it was number 42 that had to give just a little bit there. Of course, found himself all over the place. Guy Sanders then up in the air. We're at the bus stop now. I reckon this is a recipe for a bit of fairing bashing soon.
I don't think we forget about James Tilley. I think he's going to be the main man at the end of the race, because he's got a good pace going, I think.
Well, he's going to have to use it pretty soon. He's down in 6th place at the moment, and I don't care too much for James Hilliard's chances of catching Richard Wren, since he's had every opportunity. He's been out front. Richard Wren has come from behind James Hilliard and has snuck through. The man I think we've got to keep our eyes on is Gareth Glynn. I mean, he has been on the most strangest of lines round here at Mallory, and there he goes again up the inside of Richard Wren and Ed Wieners. And I've got to say, that's the tidiest entry to Ed Wieners he's managed.
Very smooth, nice clean pass.
He's been grass chugging and he's still on it.
He certainly is, and Richard Wren not really expecting that. I thought Richard Wren was away with it there for a moment, but
I don't think that's... Oh dear me, down on the floor. Can't quite pick out who that is. Looks like 16 to me, who is Lindsay Plesto. That's the young lady who joined the series this week here at Mallory Park. So Lindsay, well, a baptism of fire there for her at the moment at Shaw's hairpin. Don't know whether she jumped or whether she was pushed. Of course, at Shaw's hairpin it could have been either, without much difficulty.
You can see that big GT sticker on Richard Wren's bike, exactly the same as what my bike used to look like, so it's looking good.
So, 16, Lindsay Plesto gets helped away from Shaw's hairpin at the minute. John Boy Lee has a 9.9 second lead. It was up to 10 seconds a minute ago, but he's obviously just eased the pace at the front, seeing he's got, well, a 1/5 of a lap lead at the moment.
he can cruise around and save Rob Mack some fuel and everything, and save the tyres.
Well, Rob, I'll tell you what, I've not seen... Rob looks like one of them big fat Cheshire cats at the moment. He's not had a grin on his face all year long. And Knockhill gave him one when James Hayden won the Superbike race there. He's always grinning about the R6 Cup, of course, because he's guaranteed a Yamaha out front for that one. But he really is a happy man at the moment, as the momentum of his huge empire has started to move. It's like moving an army for Rob Mack.
Well,
and at last he's winning.
And real smart moves. Rob's idea, Rob's concept to put the Yamaha Virgin Mobile R6 Cup together, and it really was his saviour last year when the Superbike team struggled somewhat.
But this year, of course, the Superbike team, having struggled at the beginning of the year, really has come very, very good. And hats off to Rob Mack and the team. A lot of them, they had their heads hanging in the early race meetings of this year, but they're back with a bang now. Yamaha is up the inside again, comes 42, having recovered very, very slightly there. So 42 Guy Sanders qualified back on the third row of the grid. So the ride by post, one to watch from last time out at Knock Hill. Guy Sanders on 42. Oh, get up the inside, Guy Sanders. He's really forcing Victor Cox out wide. Cox is going to try and drop it over him at the bus stop. Is he going to get an opportunity? No, he's not. I feel fisticuffs might be in the Virgin Mobile tent at the end of this race.
I think so, and of course, first time the R6s have been to Mallory Park. I haven't seen any racing here before.
Yeah, it's the inaugural race. We forgot to mention that.
So it's certainly thrown up some interest. It's a pity John Boyle has disappeared away at the front. We haven't seen him for about 10 laps.
Well, it's a
he's
pity.
out there somewhere.
It's a pity for them, but not for him. John Boyle, untroubled at the front, still got a 9.3 second lead then. The Astro Van Centre sponsored rider on the R6 out front. Meanwhile, this is the battle we're watching for. Victor Cox now bounces underneath. Will he hold it? He should do. He's made an R6 in the middle of the corner from Guy Sanders. 42 Guy Sanders though tries to get the drive through the Lake S's and up the hill. Still there is James Hillier behind them. 37 is James Hillier. Shaw's hairpin. Richard Wren and Gareth Glynn are in front of this little battling bunch.
Now, like you said earlier, they're continuing to put in their fastest laps. Gareth Glynn the last lap just did his fastest lap, 56.004. John Boyle, the only rider in the 55s, on lap 7 he did a 55.982, which is very impressive.
6/10 of a lap quicker, 6/10 of a second quicker than his pole time, which is incredible. Especially here at Mallory Park. It has to be said, Mallory Park, when you're a tenth shy of the mark, I mean, you all think your life's come to an end.
Looking for the news, but yeah, and on a standard Yamaha R6, very impressive on standard DO28 Dunlops.
Getting duffed up there, 76. Tim Capper being lapped, and he wouldn't have expected to have been lapped round here, I'm fairly sure. It's a short lap, of course, 1.39 miles, and that's, well, it's extended slightly because the chicane's added a little bit of mileage to it. Must be even shorter. Number 8 there is Philip Houghton.
Using the tent a little bit more.
Philip Houghton getting pushed out. Number 8 was Philip Houghton looking around, wondering what's just hit him. These are the race leaders, young man. This is what you're going to get if you're going to get lapped. They're all over him. What do you call a bunch of R6 riders?
A collective term.
Collective? Gaggle? Maniacs? Perhaps.
An asylum.
Our educated director just told me it's murder for crows, so therefore maybe we can plagiarise that.
Murder on the dance floor.
Lap 19 off 22, still out front. John Boyle, 8.2 seconds. He's slipped by a second, but he ain't going to care. He's so far out front, he's only got 2.5 laps left to go of this race. So John Boyle, just 17 years old, got his first pole position in the series today, and looks like he's going to get his first win in the series.
James Hillier having another moment there coming out of Vidwinas.
Up to the hairpin again. This is where the action's going to be on the last lap, I feel, Neil. I think I'll grip the desk, because I think there's going to be 4 or 5 motorcycles arrive at that particular bottom gear hairpin all at once, all looking for the scratch to the line, because there is that last couple of podium positions still left.
James Hillier coming under a bit of pressure from Ollie Bravo now. I mean, they're good mates, so we'll see what happens in this little bundle.
It's down to 7.2 seconds now, the distance between the race leader John Boyle and Gareth Glynn in second place on bike number 30. 24 in third place is Richard Wren, the series leader at the moment, so that's good. 13, 16 points for him, of course, for third place. Fairly safe there. James Hillier gets stuffed up again into Edwinas. 46 coming through is Ollie Bridewell on the Wayside Racing R6.
Just looking down the order here, looks like we've lost Adam Jenkinson, possibly, hopefully retired rather than had any excursions.
He's got to be finding it very tough. What a one to come back to. 22 laps. It will be the most laps that he's going to cover all year long. And it's not a lap that you can get a rest in anywhere here. You'll work at Mallory. It's all short, all action. And really, Adam Jenkinson with that huge injury must be really fit. I'm actually surprised he was fit enough to ride.
Well, brave effort. He was past fit on Friday, so brave effort just to qualify.
We're on lap 21 and 22, and everyone's now got to focus somewhere at the front on John Boyle. He's so far out front, they might think he's a back marker because he's out on his own. John Boyle, 6.4 seconds was his lead last time round. What an excellent judgment that he's made here. He really cracked off some great laps, got himself a huge lead, and he's been able to relax. That would have gave him a moment extra just to make a few passes on the back markers. There he is then, 78, John Boyle, our one to watch, well out in front, the pole sitter, absolutely screaming away at the front. He's got the fastest lap, he's got pole position, and he's 1 lap away now from taking the race win. And that is the gentleman's set. And at 17 years old, to get that set will just make his day. He really will be one to remember.
Our ones to watch are pretty well blessed. Every time they get it pretty right, they have a good day.
Well, I have to say, it was Richard Wren. When I walked across the bridge yesterday, contemplating who should be our one to watch, it was Richard Wren who actually said to me, you should really give it to John Boy Lee, because he's going so well here at the moment. And he thought he thought John Boy Lee would convert the pole position into a win, which isn't always the case, is it, in R6 racing?
No, very impressive performance and a massive lead. And like you say, just played it perfectly.
Good style. I mean, yeah, great.
Like a bit of backing in.
All the way, he's been backing it in all over the place. I mean, he really has shown us some style. John Boy Lee, then, is the one to watch today. He is the man of today, the young man of the R6 Cup. Yeah, where have they all gone? You blew them into the weeds, John Boy. That's where it all is. Jonathan Lee, then, comes to the line, takes his first ever Yamaha R6 Cup race win. It was his first ever pole position. Oh, and he stamps on the back brake to smoke the rear end as well. Over the line comes Gareth Glynn for second place. Richard Wren, the series leader, gets third place, sponsored motorcycle. So John Boy Lee takes his first ever win over a superb style of Gareth Glynn. Well, he was on every line there was to get that second place around Mallory Park here. Richard Wren, though, the series leader, has done his series a whole load of good by finishing third from what was for him a lowly qualifying position. So he will extend his lead at the top of the championship. Victor Cox was a recommendation by the marshals for a race win today, but in the end it was just fourth place. Guy Sanders, Ollie Bridewell, Connor Cummins and James Hillier, of course, gave us entertainment throughout the entire 2010 on a 0 scoring position. So Richard Wren extending his lead pretty much over James Hillier, Ollie Bridewell in third place. John Boy Lee, though, look at that, leaps up into fourth place there. That's a great result from John Boy Lee. Adam Jenkinson slips down to fifth. Guy Sanders, Gareth Glynn are tied in sixth place, and Connor Cummins is in eighth. That's how